All right.
All right,
So
we're back. We don't know what the fuck that was.
I don't know what the fuck happened. It went for like 3 hours, and it was like it was fine.
Had some kind of hiccup in the internet. The inner zone said, fuck no. But it was going good, and it was growing green for like fucking 3 hours, and all of a sudden, straight red, went down to 0, kicked us off, but we just restarted it. It's good.
And you can't blame it on like conspiracy theory shit, because all we were talking about was Pookie.
Yeah, we were talking about Pookie.
And Pookie, right now, she's right there.
Yeah, she was laying on her back.
And she is...
Look, she looked at my head, and I looked right and looked at her.
Her mind is blown by Daddy's long hair.
Yeah, I went back and looked at her like that, and she went... Brr!
Yeah. She's like looking at him with big eyes like this, like, what is this hair about?
Yeah. And then she was like flirting with the hair. She looked at the bottom of the hair.
Yeah, she rolled over on her back and she was like looking at it.
And the hair was hanging over the back of the chair, and she looked right at where the end of it, and she got the little narrow eyes like, I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that shit.
She is really into, gotta say. She
loves hair.
She loves hair.
Yeah.
Honestly, she likes wet hair.
Yeah.
Because when I wash my hair and then I come and play with her, like with wet hair, she just like stares at it and she's like, I'm gonna eat that.
Yeah.
And she will take like the ends of my wet hair in her mouth and she'll just like,
yeah.
And she just eats it. She loves it.
Yeah.
I don't understand like why she likes the taste of shampoo, I guess.
Yeah. I like how we fucking restart the new stream and Tila, the first one in line. Are we back? I said, yeah, Tila, we're back. We're back, Tila. This is the fucking show, man. We've been drinking too hard to quit now. And we've only been streaming for 3 hours, right?
That's what I mean.
We gotta get these fucking losers through a whole 5-hour full-ass fucking show.
Like I said, it's Friday night. And normally, like, you were like, well, we should do the show earlier so we can go out afterward. But it's like, tonight we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere, so we'll roll.
So it's like, I can just collapse afterward, which is, that's fine. I
had people calling me. You guys coming out tonight?
We went out last Friday. It was fun.
Man, I got too many goddamn bills, man. Because me and Jenny will go there and spend $125, $150.
That's what I mean. It's like, even though we've drunk at home,
that shit'll add up.
By the time we get there, I'm like, man, I'm sober again.
I know. Yeah.
Now what?
And
I'm not going to drink
again, and we come back here and we feel like zombies. And we could take all the fucking weird.
And then, like, the next morning, I'm just kind of like, God, why do I feel so shitty? I wonder.
Yeah. I could start injecting more testosterone and taking more Anavar and shit, but fucking shit.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna grow like a fucking beard. You drove,
but yeah. Okay. No, you're on a fucking very mild protocol. You'll be fine.
I know. I'm just teasing. I know I'm not gonna grow. A fucking beard.
Matter of fact, Bee's Nest said that he could tell a difference in you over the past couple months. He says your face is looking younger. You said that too. You went in the damn mirror.
Well, when I was at Mannequins.
Younger.
I don't know if it was just because I wasn't wearing as much makeup. Because I don't know. Like tonight, I kind of feel like I look like an old person. But maybe that's because I don't have bangs. I'm not used to seeing myself without bangs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're going
But Wednesday doesn't have bangs, so I couldn't have bangs.
She's going through recomposition. She's gaining muscle and losing fat. So she's getting a little more shapely, especially in the legs and the waist area. But it takes time. It takes time. You're on very mild HRT, hormone replacement therapy, with some other little fucking benefits that we've done here and there. It just takes time. We're not trying to transform you into a fucking power lifter or anything like that. Yeah.
More than meets the eye.
It's just a regular post-menopause style regime. That's a regimen. That's
Tila says, I have 2 costume choices. Nun or vampire. Both are really nice costumes. Which one? Do none. Honestly, have you seen Ms. 45?
Yeah.
Do the Ms. 45 nun.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Yeah. Honestly, all you need is a nun costume and a 45 revolver. That's all you need. So,
people probably wouldn't know the reference.
But see, that is not... I don't care if people don't know that. Yeah. Because the thing about it is that I'm more interested in the people that do know that and are like, hey, you're the chick from Ms. 45. And then are like, yeah, now you're my best friend.
It's kind of old school, you know what I mean? And fucking, I don't really know exactly what Tina looks like. I know she's African American. Fucking, there's so many good fucking black characters out there that she could do that are more contemporary. Fucking, that new Venom movie had a fucking cool, what was her name? Fucking Shriek or Scream? What was the name of that character? She looked like a fucking, New Orleans fucking
What's she?
gothic bacor chick. She'd Shriek. Shriek, I think is what her name was. That'd be a good character. Trying to think what else. I don't know. I'd have to see Tila for real to know what character she could run with like that. See what her body composition is like, what she looks like in the face.
Mango says Ms. 45 is a great film. It is. I agree. But that is actually my favorite Abel Ferrara.
Ms. 45 was.
I love Driller Killer too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but Ms. 45. God damn, that movie is so fucking good.
Ms. 45 was a little fucking dark-haired, pale, fucking Italian chick though.
She's not Italian.
Is she an Italian?
No.
Okay.
Abel Ferraro's from New York.
New York. Okay.
That was like that was a New York vibe. Man.
That was a cool look. It's just I don't know if Tila doesn't probably look like
she's man, what was her name? Zoe something. She wasn't Italian though.
I'm not even sure how tall. I'm not even sure how tall Tila is. Tila might make a good Storm.
But seriously, if you haven't seen Ms. 45, go see Ms. 45. Yeah. I think Shudder just added it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because before it was like kind of hard to find. I had it on DVD from like a long time ago. I think it was on Tubi for a while, but I think Shudder just added it like a week ago. Yeah. Because I was super jazzed.
Yeah, Tila's saying she wanted to be Akasha. Akasha would be good from fucking Interview with
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
With Queen of the Damned. That'd be good.
See, I think, like, you always kind of say, well, nobody would know what that was, or that's, like, kind of obscure. But, see, that's the fun of doing the costume. Yeah. Because you want to, like, go someplace, and the one person that recognizes it, they're like, you're my best friend for life now. Yeah. Like I said, I don't give a shit if, like, dumbass people don't recognize it. Who cares?
So I'd actually like to play the fucking... character from Saturn V, the one that fucking Harvey Keitel did. What was that motherfucker's name? Make that damn green fucking spacesuit.
See, that would be great.
And get
that would be great.
I'd have to get a wig with that fucking ponytail. What was his name?
Man, I can't remember now.
Have you ever taken any blues? This is blues. What was the name of those pills?
Yeah.
Blue Dreamers. Yeah.
That's right.
Why are you laying with that old man? That kind of shit, you know. His young flesh.
Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah. Hit your young flesh against his old flesh. That's disgusting.
See, that'd be fucking awesome. Like I said, don't worry about like if other people get it or not. One of my dream Halloween costumes. I thus far have not been able to realize it because I don't have the money. I want to be the chick from Dagon.
Yeah. One in the wheelchair.
Yeah. With the tentacles and the green and the gold crown and everything. Yeah. Absolutely 1% of people would know what that was. Yeah. But that is totally fine with me. Yeah. That's my aspirational Halloween costume. Oh, and also, we talked about this like a couple years back. We wanted to be Clytus and General Kala, right?
Yeah, Clytus and Kala, General Kala.
From Flash Gordon. And I kind of looked into it. One year, I looked into it, and I was like, man, I really want it to look good, but it would have cost
a lot of money.
A really lot of money. To do it. Because if I'm going to do it, it's got to look good.
It's got to be exact.
It has to look good.
Yeah. And it would cost a lot of money to do Kala.
But I still want to do it.
Yeah, you would think, well, Clytus's costume would be hard to make. He had that bronze mask, that gold mask. Yeah, but actually Kala's outfit would have been even harder because she had these little those long plastic beads. What do they call that? Plastic? They called that plastic.
It was like it was like fucking.
What do you call it?
I know, like I looked it up. It was like some.
Style
yeah. It was almost kind of like not what do you call it? What do you call
Lycra?
It?
No.
No, it's not Lycra. That's like spandex.
But it was you had to make that whole headdress and that whole collar, and if you looked at what her collar was, it was long strings of hard plastic that made that, and I forgot what they called that shit.
They were almost kind of like that opalescent.
Yeah, they were fucking shiny black, black and clear, with gold trim. You'd have to make that whole costume. It would take a long time. It would be thousands. to make a collar and clyde.
Because, like I said, if you're gonna do something like that,
it has to be exact.
You gotta do it right.
Yeah,
you gotta do it right. I'm not one of these like half-ass motherfuckers.
Right.
If you're gonna do that, you gotta fucking do it. Yeah. And
those outfits were gothic as fuck. They were gothic as fuck.
I love that.
General Clytus or fucking Clytus was fucking cool. Head of the secret police and shit.
Yeah.
Trying to get Ming's daughter.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of years back. I'm like, oh my god, we should totally do that.
Yeah.
But then I looked into how much it would cost. I'm like, oh, maybe we should.
Yeah, a couple $1,000 each.
So expensive.
Yeah.
But, you know. Mango says the hearse driver from Burnt Offerings would be a good one. Ooh.
You gotta be 6'5" though.
You gotta be like really tall and skinny.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a good idea. If you're really tall and skinny though, you could totally pull that off. But you have to be like super creepy. You have to have like sunglasses. That's a good idea though.
Something from the old Dune. One of the Harkonnen soldiers, or fucking one of the, or fucking something from a Bene Gesserit witch, something like that.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you have to shave your head for that though.
Those women I'm on board. I can do that.
Those women had fucking receding hairlines shaved into their heads.
Hair grows back.
Yeah, it does. But
and honestly, my hair is so annoying. Many times that I've thought of like, man, if my head was better shaped, I would just shave this shit up because it's just like so. I'm just like clogging up the drains at this point with this stupid hair. So, you know.
Tila's making her second drink.
Your second one? Oh my god. Yeah. This is like my fourth one. Or eighth one if you're going by doubles. This is my eighth one. I don't know, like I said, I'm like really into, I don't know, I kind of like these people that are really deep into like horror movies, and they will find this kind of obscure character that had this like really cool look, and they'll reproduce it at great expense. And they don't even care if like people know what that is or not.
Yeah.
There's like something pure about that.
That's a whole cosplay stuff.
Like I said, I'm a dork like that. I'm a horror dork. And it's like, I'm honestly really impressed when I go to, say, a convention or I see a picture online and it's like somebody went to great lengths to reproduce this character that maybe only 5% of the population would know who that was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not super worried about, oh, it has to be recognizable to a general audience, because fuck that. I don't give a shit.
There's one costume I can do that I almost have done. All I need is the mask and I need the fucking dispenser system. I can do Bane, the animated Bane, where he's like the black outfit with the look almost like a wrestler mask and shit. All I need is that mask, and I need that thing that he has on his back that with the glowing green fucking steroids in it that makes him huge or makes him bigger. I could do Bane right now. And then
that would be cool.
I have most of the shirts, the pants, and the boots. I need a spiked collar. That's nothing. I need to make gauntlets. That's nothing. Probably buy and the mask. You can buy several versions of Bane's wrestling mask. Like I want a luchador version of fucking Bane. You haven't seen the black anime version of Bane? Yeah, like that. I could do that. And then the mercenary version from the movie, that'd be easy to do. I got plate carriers that could do some of that shit. But they do make reproductions of that vest that he has. They're not that expensive. I just don't know how cheap they look. They probably look fucking cheap. If not, I'd just make that. But those pants, I'd just get some fucking, what's the name of that fucking company? The ones with the knee pads installed in them. They're a couple $100 for those fucking pads. And that mask, they make that fucking face mask. Because I'm already bald. Do a couple cycles of Dianabol, I'll be that size. Fucking practice that voice.
Oh my god, Tila has a great idea. Tila says, I want to see a Buffalo Bill costume at a party. Tuck and go.
Oh, yeah.
All you needed was kind of like that wig. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. And kind of like a robe type situation. And then you could just be like naked.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be like adult party. I get it. But you know what I mean. Somebody also down here had a really cool camp guy said Angus Grimm carrying a casket. Oh, actually, anything from Phantasm, that'd probably be a good fucking outfit too. But like I said, you have to be kind of tall and skinny to pull that off. Mango says, holy shit, I didn't know this. Peter Wyngarde played Clytus.
Yeah.
He rocked. He was Peter Wyngarde also he played Peter Quint in The Innocents.
He was also
from 1961, which I just did a review of earlier. Turn of the Screw. He was also in Blood on Satan's Claw, I believe.
He was also in Seven Voyages of Sinbad, or one of the Sinbad movies.
Yeah, he was
Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, I think is one of the
shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like shit. Like I said, I did a review of The Innocents. Yeah. And we haven't done Blood on Satan's Claw yet, have we? Have you seen Blood on Satan's Claw?
I was happy to introduce the old classic British fucking Sinbad movies to Tila. I don't think she'd ever seen those.
I love all that shit.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I don't know, Tila, did you get through all 3 movies? Did you get to fucking Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger? That was a fucking good one too, man. The fucking sorceress and the Minotaur. Minotaur!
I saw that in the theater.
Kill him!
When I was little.
Yeah, I saw him in the theater as little kids. Yeah. That was Star Wars before Star Wars. I was like, oh, wow, what the fuck is this shit? Fucking ogres with... Cyclops ogres with horns out of one head that had like fucking goat feet fighting giant saber-toothed tigers that had stripes on them like a Siberian tiger, and fucking mechanical minotaurs made by sorceresses and little homunculus and shit. And Tom Baker, fucking, I'm like, oh man, Doctor Who's in this one, you know? I was fucking loving it.
Yeah, I was really into that when I was a kid. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, the Brits could deliver back in the day, man, with fucking special effects. Those fucking British studios are really good at that, you know. They could they did it, and fucking they did it so much better than fucking Americans could do it. You know, fucking George Lucas went there to do Star Wars and a lot of other movies. Well, you didn't do that shit in Hollywood. You went to England
I said, I kind of feel like, and this is a generalization, obviously.
Even Alien 1 was British.
But I do kind of feel like the Brits like took the shit more seriously.
They took it a lot more seriously, yeah.
It was more like an art form. Acting is an art form. Special effects is an art form. Yeah. Hollywood, they were just kind of like, well, what kind of schlock can we pull off for low, like not that much money?
Who wants to be on this picture? Has she casting couch? Have I had her on the couch yet? Oh, then she can't be.
Does she have nice boobies?
Yeah. That's all they care about.
Although that was
they want a flying saucer.
That was a Hammer thing too. Yeah. Does she have nice boobies?
Yeah. Hollywood is fake as fuck. Hollywood's still fucking fake. It takes a fucking Spaniard to come in and give us fucking Blade Runner and fucking Dune. You know what I mean?
I thought he was French.
I thought he was Spanish. He's a European.
I mean, I'm pretty sure his name is French. Yeah. That's a very French name.
Yeah. Although I do have to hand it to some of the superhero stuff. The Americans got some of the superhero stuff right. I'm not a big fan of the Marvel. I like DC better. That new trailers I'm seeing for that new Batman, The Batman, that looks fucking good.
That has like Robert Pattinson in it, and honestly,
I didn't think that was going to be any good. That looks good.
Well, more power to him, because he kind of got typecast because he was in the Twilight movies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge him. Like, look, he wanted a paycheck. We're all trying to like make money. I'm not shitting on him for that. And he was but he was in some good fucking movies too. He was in The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And he was awesome in that. So I'm not going to like, fuck. So he was in some weird shit after that. So, all right.
Hey.
I'll allow it. It looks good, actually.
It looks good.
It's
like a gritty Batman, not technology dependent. He's got a damn muscle car coming at you. An old muscle car and a fucking homemade looking Batman outfit. And then when they show little fucking, what's her name, Zoe Kravitz as fucking Catwoman, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is gonna be good. Cause she is, that little fucking thing is so fucking cute. And they went to fight.
She was in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, she was, yeah. They already went the Michelle Pfeiffer fucking Catwoman. She was fucking great. I love Pfeiffer's Catwoman. But they didn't go the Eartha Kitt direction, so they're going to put fucking Zoe in there. Because you guys got, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember, Eartha Kitt was a fucking badass fucking fucking Catwoman too back in
Honestly,
the day.
I'm a big fan of Eartha Kitt.
Sexy as shit.
Not just as Catwoman, but like, you know, have you heard like any of her like music
She
and
can
like all
sing,
the singing? Yeah, like all of her. I love all that shit.
She was cool. She was a real cool entertainer.
Yeah.
She was way ahead of her time. She was kind of just like a woman of the world.
I had some of her like songs on my iPhone.
Yeah, that was the golden era.
Yeah.
It was a different era, and but no, the fucking bring Zoe in here, fucking. Now, I got a Hollywood friend that says, I don't know, man, I don't think it's gonna work out with her. I think he wanted to go more in the Michelle Pfeiffer direction, and I was like, I don't know, man. Fury Road was fucking badass. She really impressed me in Fury Road, and you got the fucking Eartha Kitt fucking background of fucking Catwoman. Catwoman could be either race. That's not a race swap. She was black and she was white. You know, either way, and fucking yeah. Put fucking Zoe in there, and the on-screen chemistry that I saw between the two in the trailer, I was like, yeah, that's it. I think it's gonna be great. We'll just have to see.
Like I said, I wasn't sure about it, and like I said, I don't really mean to like shit on Robert Pattinson because I know that. I feel bad for him because he kind of came to prominence in the Twilight movies, which are kind of widely reviled, at least from a critical standpoint. I mean, the books were bad. I didn't see the movies. But, I mean, I get that he took those just for like a paycheck. And, he's a sparkly vampire. It's fine. But I've seen him in other shit since then. And it's kind of like... I kind of think of him the same way that I think of like Daniel Radcliffe, who grew up as a kid like in the Harry Potter movies. So everybody was like, oh, he's like Harry Potter. But then when he got older, he's like, yeah, I have like all the money now, so I can do whatever I want. So he was like in all these like weird ass movies like Horns, which was based on like Joe Hill. And I was kind of like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I respect that. You're actually an actor and you want to like be like, look, I have all the money now, so I don't have to like give a shit whether this movie fails or not. So I can just be in what I want to be in. And I kind of feel like that's what Robert Pattinson is doing. And I'm kind of psyched about it. Like, I saw the trailer and I was kind of like, man, yeah, he looks actually really good as Batman. I didn't know how I felt about it, but I don't know. I saw I love The Lighthouse. And he was great in that. And he's been in some other shit since then that, he's actually an actor. He's not just the dude that was in Twilight. I kind of feel like the same shit happened to Kristen Stewart. And I've seen her in some other shit. Because I know a lot of people shit on her because of the Twilight movies. It's like, oh, she looked real wooden and stuff. But she's been in other stuff where she was actually really good. So
yeah,
it's hard to judge just from those movies. Because those movies were not...
Great. T said her and her hubby saw all the Sinbad movies that we recommended. She loved them. Fucking said they were great. Said yeah, I thought they were good too. And then she's talking about Zoe. She says she'd make a good cat. I think so. I agree. I just, like I said, I had very low expectations for the Batman. I thought that was gonna suck. But I think on the back of what happened with the Joker, they knew that they could not half-ass it with the Batman. And they're kind of showing a Batman we were talking about up at Denny's back in the fucking 80s before I joined the Army. Gramthars was probably there at the time. Me and some of the other little punk rock kids that were hanging out there. They were reading fucking illustrated novels of the Batman that were new back in the late 86, 87. I think it was called The Dark Knight that they were reading. And they were saying, Batman is not supposed to be a good guy per se. And he's not ultra rich. It's gritty. The motherfucker had a shotgun and he had a regular kind of car. And he was shooting people and he was getting hurt and everything, and he didn't have unlimited money. You can't have... He was a vigilante, kind of like, something out of Death Wish. And I was thinking about it and I was going, yeah, that would be kind of cool. Because they had just made that movie with the Tim Burton movie of Batman. Yeah.
So 89?
Yeah.
The first one?
Around that time. They were complaining about that. So I guess it was after I got out of high school. It's when I moved back there. They were complaining about that shit. And I was going, yeah, maybe that would sound good. Well, this is the Batman that they were talking about. And I saw that trailer and I was like, man, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that dude is not fucking jacked. He's not fucking huge. But we already had Batman like that. We had a pretty big Batmans and illustrated ones, you know what I mean? And then we had Fucking the dude that did The Dark Knight, which I really liked that one. The fucking Tim Burton Batman, that dude wasn't physical at all.
That was Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, you know, shit. You could
Michael Keaton was a great Batman.
Yeah, but you could beat Michael Keaton up. You know,
well, I could beat Michael Keaton up, but that's okay.
You could beat Michael Keaton up. You know what I mean? So, but this Batman.
Well, especially now because he's a lot older than me.
Yeah, you could beat Michael Keaton up back then, but fucking he just wasn't physical. But
you don't need to be. It's all about presence and it's all about charisma.
Well, it's got to be kind of believable. You know what I mean? Batman's
well, that too. But
and they're showing him fucking whip ass on 5 dudes like it's nothing. You know what I mean? It has to. You have to have some semblance of fucking realism there.
And Teresa says Christian Bale was a good Batman. I agree.
I think he was a good Batman.
He was actually a great Batman.
He's a good Batman. I like that one. But this guy here, he's a little more slender, but I think he's going to make a good Batman because you could do it that way too. He might just be very evasive. You know what I mean? And quick. And we don't know what kind of weapons he's using. You know what I mean? He might be more of a martial artist type. And using stealth and surprise. We'll just have to see. But from what I saw in the trailer, I was like, yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to give it a chance. It looked good. And Zoe looked fucking great. She looked great. I go, yeah, that's Catwoman. That's an Eartha Kitt style Catwoman. So let's bring it on. My mind is open. I want to see it. DJ
Maniac says, all you need to be Batman is a jawline and a voice.
I'm going to disagree.
And a presence.
Yeah.
You need kind of like a charisma or a presence.
But you know, Christian Bale, he could transform himself. He could go from fucking super skinny like in The Mechanic, or he could bulk up. So I could kind of buy that Christian Bale.
Watch The Mechanic, you guys. Yeah. It's so good.
I could buy that Christian Bale could whip 3 dudes' asses real quick, especially in a damn armored suit with some technology. Michael Keaton. But the thing is, though, is that it worked in the Michael Keaton versions because those were cartoon movies.
Well, and Michael Keaton has so much personality and charisma that it's almost kind of like it overrides everything else.
Those were Tim Burton-style cartoon fantasy movies. That's why it worked. But the Dark Knight series was supposed to have a little more realism, a little more grit to it. So Keaton wouldn't have worked for that. You had to have somebody who could deliver. My only criticism of fucking The Dark Knight is that some of the voice acting that fucking he did was a little over the top. Some of it was a little too much, you know. But I understand that fucking Ra's al Ghul told him that theatrics was a fucking great psychological weapon, which it is. It is. You know what I mean? Anybody in Special Forces or Rangers will tell you it's a big difference between fucking just attacking silently somebody else and then attacking fucking screaming your fucking head off into some kind of war cry with guns blazing. Because that'll fucking rattle you a lot worse than some dude who's just doing it silently at close range. But either will work. It depends on the job. Depends on what you're doing.
Well, like I said, it depends on the whole tone of the movie. Like, what are you trying to... Like, what's the effect that you're trying to achieve?
Yeah.
That kind of, like, dictates what actor you're going to choose for it.
Do you want me to pour you another drink?
Sure.
Okay.
Mango says Julie Newmar was the best Catwoman.
She was good, too. I liked her.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to argue with you about that because she was an awesome Catwoman. Like, I like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. I liked all the other Catwomans, but yeah, I see what you're getting at.
Job.
Yeah.
They all did a pretty good job.
You know, I'm not real super invested in, like, the Batman series, so I don't know if I have an opinion. I don't know if I have an opinion about best Batman because, like I said, it's kind of like it depends on what kind of Batman movie you're doing. Are you doing a Tim Burton Batman? Yeah. Are you doing like a gritty, serious Batman? You know, I'm kind of curious to see. I actually didn't give a shit about it, but then when we went to see, what was the last movie we went to see? When we went to see Dune, they had a trailer for the Batman, which is the first time that I had seen. Thank you, Robert Pattinson or whatever the fuck his name is. Which is the first time that I'd seen the trailer for him as the Batman. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He's playing Batman in these new ones. And I was kind of like, oh hey, that looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. That looks pretty good. I hadn't even like thought about it, but it looked pretty good.
What I liked about it is that his suit didn't look real high tech. It just looked like a handmade kind of suit. And the same thing with his car.
And like I said,
Cadillac or
I kind of feel bad for that dude because he made all, like, I don't feel that bad for him because he made all the money, but he made all the money being a sparkly vampire in the Twilight series. And I get it. Like, you got to make money somehow. I understand. But
I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, you get typecast as that.
Yeah.
So I respect that he made all the money doing that, and then he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do like some other weird ass movies nowadays because he is actually a good actor. Like I said, we saw him in The Lighthouse, and I'm like, oh my god, he was amazing in that.
I didn't see that vampire. What's it called? True Blood.
Twilight.
I didn't.
No, True Blood is good. That's a series.
Yeah, I didn't see Twilight. But I saw that movie that had that girl from Twilight. Wasn't it Twilight when she?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. She was. What was the name of that fucking movie?
She's been in a lot of stuff.
She was in that one. It was kind of like Alien. They were underneath the water.
Yeah.
Underwater. That's what it's called, right? I own it on Blu-ray. I love that movie, Underwater.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's a great movie.
She got that too because I kind of feel like
they were shitting on her, and I was like, "What are you talking about? That was a fucking great movie."
If you give her the oh my goodness,
Pookie, leave it alone.
If you give her the right, and I think the same thing is true, and it's kind of shitty because I know it happens. Like something that's like Twilight, it's so culturally massive that everyone's going to be like associate with that with you like your whole life. And they're like, look, I'm just an actor. That's just a job. I get a paycheck. Yeah. It's like they made a lot of money from it, but that it shouldn't define their whole career. And it's kind of sad that it does. And I get why that happens, but I mean, Kristen Stewart, I've seen her in other shit. She was in that movie about the Runaways, and she was fucking great. You know, people like shit on her because in the Twilight movies, everyone's like, oh, she's so wooden and shit like that. But I think that might have been because of the story or the director or whatever the fuck the problem was, because I've seen her in other shit, and she's awesome. So...
Well, in Underwater,
I don't think that was just her. And like I said, I don't think it was a case of like Robert Pattinson or whatever being in Twilight. You know, he was in that, but it's like I think that was just like the movie. Because I've seen him in other shit and he's fantastic. So he can't act. It's just a lot of it has to do with like script and director and a lot of other things.
Probably how they feel about the fucking
and how
movie.
they feel about maybe they're not like super happy about being. They're like, look, I'm just here for the paycheck.
Right.
Like, please leave me alone. I get it.
Well, I thought she was great in Underwater. I liked that movie. I would like to see a sequel to Underwater. She won't be in it because she gets killed in it. But it was kind of like it felt kind of like Alien, but underneath the water. But it was more about like Lovecraft. Cthulhu and shit.
It is very Lovecraftian, yeah.
Yeah, and way down deep on it's kind of like from the same universe that Blade Runner and Alien would be in, like a futuristic industrial world. And I just enjoyed the movie. I thought she did great in it.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, and the quality of the movie was good.
And it was one of those ones that like I kind of feel like they dumped in like January, which is the time that it's like, these movies we don't give a shit about that we don't think are going to do very well. But it was actually really good.
People kind of like blew it off, but I heard that over the years it's kind of built a cult following that people are like, no, that's a good one.
Which I get because that was a good movie.
Yeah,
I think we saw it a couple times.
Saw it a couple times in the theater. We went to see it twice on fucking...
It was good. I had a really good time with that movie.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was like really scary. It was really tense. It was like, people say, oh, it's an Alien ripoff, but it was like...
Everything's a ripoff of
everything's been done.
Everything's been done.
Okay? It's the 21st century. Everything's been done. It had
good special effects.
Just entertain me. That's all I ask.
It had good special effects. It felt like a real world.
Yeah.
It didn't feel fake. Good young characters working on an underwater platform, like a mining rig. Weird shit happened. Some people say, "Oh well, that's like what was it?
The Abyss?
Underwater? What the Abyss?" And I was like,
the James Cameron one.
Yeah, I'm like, dude.
Which was good. I saw that in the theater, but
so all movies in space are Flash Gordon now. All movies in space are fucking.
That's what I mean. Like I said,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Everything's been done.
Everything's been done.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Everything has been done 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, get over it. Just like relax.
New doesn't really exist.
And enjoy some shit.
When you get to be fucking in your 50s, you realize that new doesn't exist.
I kind of feel like now that I'm old, in a way, it's weird because it's kind of like, I feel like you enjoy stuff more when you're younger, but in a lot of ways, I think I appreciate stuff more now that I'm old because I'm like, well, I've seen it all at this point. So you're kind of to a point where it's like, well, everything's been done. So I'm just like looking for new spins on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can do like some new spin, as long as you entertain me, that's all that's all I want.
Cam Guy says he wants to see Tenet, even though I've heard it's a hard plot to understand. I just watched Inception again. It made a little more sense. Yeah, and Tenet kind of came and went real fast. It was supposed to be a huge blockbuster, but the timing was fucking bad with the COVID and all the other bullshit. I was waiting for it to come on, and then the fucking pandemic hit.
Although I heard a lot of good reviews of that, actually.
That one missed the boat.
And it kind of actually, like, the trailers looked good, so I kind of wanted to see it.
Tita's telling Zoe, stay away from... Tita's telling Mango Badger, stay away from Zoe. You don't need that. I don't know exactly what
Teresa is asking, she's 53, is that old? No, well, I'm...
middle age by today's standards, of course.
I'm 49.
Yeah.
You are, what, 50...
52.
52?
52. I think I'm 52, I think.
So, I don't like to think of that as old. It probably is, but I would never call you old. Seriously.
Not thinking about it. My cousin says I'm not old. She goes, God, you're that old, but you're not old. And I says, yeah, well, I kind of took care of myself. You know, the definition changes. Old
when I say genetic. Old, I'm talking about, like, attitude. I'm not talking about age.
Tita said she enjoyed Underwater, too. A good heroine. Yeah.
I mean, it was just really good. It was good because, one, I gave a shit about all the characters. Yeah. I didn't want them to die.
It was survival adventure.
And then when they did die, I was bummed out.
It was also simple. It was survival adventure. They didn't fucking give you a whole bunch of information you didn't need to know. It was just them trying to get through some shit.
Shit that happens at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. That's gonna, like, fucking resonate with me because that's one of the things that, like, that's one of my scare triggers.
They're talking about Zoe and Zoe's fucking parents and everything. Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet. Zoe's got fucking fantastic genetics. You know she comes from two superstar, good-looking parents. You know that chances are the way genes work is that she's gonna pop out. That male or female, she's gonna pop out.
She pops out.
Being a superstar. You know what I mean? Acceptable genetics. And no, I like Zoe. Now Zoe's young, you know what I mean? Some people are saying, well, what she said on social media and this way she acts, and she's fucking young, all right? And she's in fucking Hollywood, and they gotta say crazy shit. All those Hollywood people say crazy shit. I don't think they believe half of what they say. A lot of it has to do with the fucking companies that they work with paying them to say shit. They're walking advertisements. I don't believe anything fucking most celebrities say. I don't believe nothing. They fucking bull. They just do it. They're working a job. They're a brand. That's all it is. So I don't care what your opinions are about what people say, whether you like it or don't like it. Chances are it's not true anyway. They're actors. They lie.
Okay.
What? What? Did I say something?
Oh, I don't know. It's like you just said something and you were like leaning back like you said something like profound.
Oh, no, I don't fucking believe in what actors say. They lie.
Yeah, but nobody does.
No, they lie. They say whatever they say, whatever they have to say.
I don't really, I don't know. I don't pay any attention.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just watch movies and read books and enjoy them.
Yeah, Jenny probably doesn't even know what I'm talking about, but...
I do.
Actors fucking lie. They lie constantly.
I do, but it's like it's not something that super concerns me. Like I know that
some
like
people won't see the movies of certain people because of certain things.
Well,
that they
no, I get that, and like I get that, like I get that.
Like people believe what Arnold Schwarzenegger says. Bitch, Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking is a troll. That motherfucker was born trolling, has talked shit. And fucking basically kind of lied since he was a kid showing up in the Hollywood scene. People would ask fucking Arnold, how'd you get so big? You know, you're working out, but I work out. How'd you get so big? This is what you do. You take a couple drops of dishwater after you wash the dishes and you put that in your coffee and drink that. That's what I do.
And then you take this hard-boiled egg and you stick it right up your ass.
Yeah. Fucking, and people would believe him. Fucking, it's because fucking Arnold didn't want to say, well, there's this thing called prima bowling.
I'm on drugs, y'all.
Yeah, there's this thing called primobolan.
And he didn't want to say that.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, Giannabolan and primobolan, all right? Fucking to work out, eat a whole bunch of fucking chicken breasts, and fucking you'll get huge.
So, like I said, people back then trolling.
Trolling. And they always troll and lie, fucking, they, you know, don't believe what they say. You know? Arnold has fucking said so much bullshit, and then that motherfucker was the governor for a while.
Like I said.
He's trolling even after that. That motherfucker trolls.
The thing about it, and this is going back to something we said earlier, everyone's an individual.
Yeah.
So don't listen. Don't necessarily. Like, you should listen to, like, experts if they know what they're talking about to an extent. But you are you. Yeah. You know what works for you. If somebody else is saying some shit like, hey, do this and do that and the other thing, don't take that just at face value.
No, you can pay a motherfucker to say anything.
Because you don't know. Like I said, I just... Yeah. And the thing about it is, like, there's like, oh, I did this and that, and I did it, and, you know. And it's like, but I'm not you.
I'm going to come at you this way, people.
Are you?
Yeah.
He's going to come at me this way.
I'm going to talk about something that I know that's just for sure. And this is a lot of, like, the Instagram fitness scene. You have all these fucking people, when you look at them, they look fucking amazing. Look at Greek statues, all right? And they'll tell you fucking, oh, hell no, I'm not fucking on anything. I'm fucking drinking this protein powder with creatine.
Bullshit.
This is what's made
They paid him to say that.
Yeah.
They paid him to say that.
Right. And they're like, and it's my label. Okay, so when you buy this,
that's
it will
their
look
sponsor.
Like me. Or they own it, because you can make that through China and put your own label on it, all right? That is not what made that motherfucker, that girl, or that man look like that, okay? If it's a girl, that shit's Anavar, all right? That's what you need to look for, Anavar. Anavar, or they inject small amounts, appropriate amounts of testosterone. The men are on some fucking shit like primobolan, usually. Primobolan, some of them will even do trenbolone. Okay, if they could fucking manage that. They're all on TRT.
Yeah, it's drugs. Drugs. Now,
so
any kind of like diet supplements or anything like that is not doing that.
No.
That's not doing that.
There's all kinds of drugs and hormones. Well, they're hormones. Okay, some of them are drugs, but they're mostly synthetic hormones. That if you take that shit and work out and eat a certain way, your body will respond instantly. You'll make 10 years of gains in a fucking year. All right? That powder, all these fucking powders, they laugh at those powders. Those are the powders that they sell you, okay? Those powders have little fucking creatine. No. Protein. They're eating protein, but that's not what's making them fucking huge. They're working out and they're taking fucking anabolic steroids. And people have known this shit going back to the fucking 50s. You just know how... And you do too much of that shit, it'll fucking blow your heart up. They're fucking dead by the time they're fucking 35. There's limits to what the human body can do. There aren't much limits to what fucking steroids can do, though. Steroids will make you big enough to kill yourself. You'll be dead a year later. You better fucking watch it, okay? But, you know, if you're fucking chilled out with the shit, you can run fucking steroids for a long time.
One thing they do a lot, too.
Yeah.
And they talked about this on, if any of you guys have seen Penn and Teller's Bullshit.
Yeah.
Which they did, I think it was on Showtime. And one of the things they did was all these kind of like fitness, infomercials and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said one thing that they do is that they will get fitness models who are like on all these drugs and like they're fucking like work out 24/7, and they come on their shows and they pay them to come on and say, oh hey, I did this drug or this whatever this exercise
I did
thing
this exercise
was.
machine and
and it's like, look, and now I look like this, and they're like, that's not how
happened.
They got that.
No.
So it's like really, really misleading.
Right.
Yes, they do really look like that, but that's not how they got like that.
I was in a bar one time. Jenny was standing next to me, and this fucking dude, we were talking about fucking professional bodybuilding. Remember that black dude was talking about black dude of fucking professional bodybuilding? And I said, yeah, well, it was all those fucking steroids that fucking Arnold took. And he goes, Arnold did steroids? And I just looked at him and went, yeah. Yeah, what are you talking about?
They all did back then.
The 70s was the fucking golden era for that shit. I know exactly what he took. He fucking had a testosterone base. Okay, so he's taking TRT. And then he took Dianabol and Primobolan. Those are the main ones. All right. And a fucking very high protein diet, and he lifted a lot of weights. But the stigma behind that in the 70s was pretty heavy. They couldn't admit that. Because the thinking of the time of the average person was, oh, well, you took steroids, so shit.
It's cheating.
It's cheating. And like, then that means anybody could do it. No.
Sure.
No. Not everybody can do it. If the average person, you give them steroids and they don't work out, they don't do much, they just get fat. Okay. If you give the average person steroids and they work out, they'll get pretty big. They would never get as big as fucking Arnold. Those guys had genetics that allowed them to respond to those drugs. They were what was called hyper responders. They would respond twice as much as your average person. And then they had certain genetics in terms of skeleton size and muscularity that once they grew fucking big like that, they looked better than anybody else who would be on those drugs. So it's not just those drugs. They also lifted a lot of weight. A lot. Now, they were taking a lot of this shit too. A lot. By the time they were fucking in their 40s, they were having heart problems because they just weighed too much and that shit fucks up heart valves and stuff. It's bad for your cardiovascular system long term. But had that been a normal person, they'd have been dead by about 25. Their genes allowed them to resist and take all that fucking acceleration from those fucking anabolics. They were taking lots. I mean, it would be considered like 3 times what a person today would take. Now they're getting even bigger, but they're not just taking steroids. They're also taking shit like fucking human growth hormones on top of the steroids and fucking, what's the other one? Insulins. The insulins allow them to fucking take more. There's a lot of fucking tricks. It's huge stacks of drugs. They got so big, they're fucking big as Big Ramy and fucking some of these other guys. They're big, they're so big they don't even look good anymore. It's got to go back to classic bodybuilding, which is, 220 pounds. Symmetry, looking good, not mass. Mass doesn't look good. But in the 90s and the early 2000s, they got fucking this hard on for... The judges wanted mass, not symmetry and... Because it is not a sport. It is a beauty contest. And that's always what it was. Mr. America, Mr. Universe, Olympia, these were fucking beauty contests. But these macho motherfuckers don't want to say they're beauty contests. They're going to say it's a sport. But there's no fucking rules. There's no fucking...
They don't have to, like, do anything.
There's no score.
Sporting.
It's just how good do you look in front of the judges. So it's a beauty contest. Yeah. And it'd be a lot better if they just said, well, it's a beauty contest. And it makes a lot more sense when you look at it that way. But, steroids. Steroids. They work.
But like I said, back in the old days, you weren't allowed
to say that, yeah.
That you were on steroids.
But he was fucking...
you had to, like, deny
he was amazed. Arnold Schwarzenegger did steroids?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, all those dudes did. All those dudes from the 80s and the 70s were fucking jacked on that shit. And they didn't really know what they were doing. And a lot of them fucking ended up looking like fat slobs. Because there's certain shit you gotta do to keep from going that way. And I don't recommend fucking doing what they were doing at a young age. Just fucking kill you. You can take, too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? Come on. That's just fucking extreme.
Tila says, okay, why in the hell are they remaking The Exorcist? Are they?
Yeah, I heard they are remaking The Exorcist.
Of course they are.
The thing is about The Exorcist.
It's a perfect film. That and Exorcist 3, it's... Leave it alone already. Honestly, like, some people, like, didn't they remake, like, they did a prequel, which was pretty good. It
It'd be like remaking The Shining. You'd have to be real fucking careful, and you'd have to get the right people involved in that. And if you're gonna take this down the road of fucking the Conjuring universe, not gonna be good. I mean, you'll make some money, but it'll never top that classic, because The Exorcist is a slow burn, and it's kind of a psychological horror. And I think a lot of what made The Exorcist great was the timing. That came in the 70s, at a time when religiosity was pretty low. But The Exorcist actually restarted religiosity in the United States for a while. That was the beginning of the Satanic Panic.
That was one of the things that kind of kicked that back.
Rekindled, worried about the devil.
Yeah.
And I don't think that can happen again. Not unless you're a master. That dude who did Blade Runner and the Dune could probably do it.
But honestly, I kind of feel like... I know they still do some remakes nowadays. But I kind of feel like the heyday of the remakes was early 2000s.
Yeah.
They were remaking all the shit, like from the 70s and 80s. And some of it was okay, but I didn't love it. I don't know. I just kind of feel like if you want to do something like that, just do something in that same vein. Do something with that same vibe, but don't like remake it. Why would you do that? We already have that movie. We already have The Exorcist. We already have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We already have The Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, what? Don't remake it. Like, I understand why they do, because it's like, oh, brand recognition. I understand that. But from an artistic point of view, I don't really see much point in it. I don't see much point in it. Honestly, if you want to do something like that, just make it like an homage. Make an homage to it. Because you're not going to...
Well, some of these studios...
You're not going to top the original.
I think the time has passed for that. But they're trying to do a lot of cash grabs.
Although, like I said, nowadays that seems less a thing. I kind of feel like that was more a thing in like the late 90s and early 2000s, because I kind of feel like late 90s, early 2000s, they're like, we're going to remake all the motherfucking shit from the 70s and 80s. They remade Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They remade pretty much every 80s slasher movie, every 70s movie. They remade all that shit.
It depends on what time frame they're going to put
this in. And they were all bad.
Are they going to put this Exorcist remake in modern days, or is it going to be back in the 70s?
I kind of feel like the way shit's going nowadays, they'll probably do it back in the 70s.
That's what I would think.
Because, like I said, even nowadays, like, a lot of newer horror movies actually are set in the 70s or 80s because, like, pre-cell phones. Because when you have cell phones, you have to rewrite a lot of stuff.
What I would do, instead of doing The Exorcist, I would have bought the franchise for The Omen. The Omen 1, 2, and 3. And redone that whole trilogy for a new era and gone straight full-on fundamental Christian. Did the whole thing. And got the Christian horror.
Would that work nowadays, though?
I think it would.
I don't know.
I would fucking go the whole apocalyptic route. The whole fucking, Revelations, Antichrist. I'd have gone the whole fucking thing. And Omen 1, I would have put that like in the 70s when he was born. 2 and 3, more. 2 would have been in the 80s, and 3 would have been like right now. All right, when he's like in his late 40s and he's now the president. And with the special effects of today, you could do that really well. But you have to fucking tackle that shit fucking head on. It's got to be fucking dead serious, and it has to be like right out of scripture. That's how I would do it. You'd probably get that whole fucking, you would get that whole
You could do it like a Christian horror thing.
Yeah.
You could get it up on PureFlix.
Yeah, you can get it on PureFlix and everything. But I would make that shit rated R.
Wait, do you guys know that PureFlix exists?
Yeah, it's just nothing.
It's the Christian
Netflix. Yeah, it's probably terrible.
It is, but thank you, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, what do you say?
Tom, no little shop dentist costume. Oh, that would have been good.
Tom, what?
You should have been. You should have had a Little Shop of Horrors dentist costume.
Yeah.
I'll be a dentist.
Actually, I have that. Because my chef jacket is the same thing as that.
Oh, you should have done that.
Yeah, my chef jacket is the same as that dentist outfit, and I'm wearing those pants and that boots right now. I got those basically.
Oh my god, you should have done it.
That's it.
There you go.
With the buckles and shit. But
if you guys don't know, there's a thing called PureFlix.
Yeah. Which
is like Netflix, but it's all Christian movies and series.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not going out on a limb here. I'm saying they're pretty much all terrible. All the series are made by, what's that dude's name? David R. White. And he's behind a lot of the series on it, and they're like, so it's this level of, we're going to film shit like in a studio, and then they they film it in front of a green screen, and then they buy, like, backgrounds.
Yeah.
From,
yeah.
Yeah, and so, like, they buy backgrounds from, like, stock photo services.
The problem with the Christian movies is they don't have the budget and they don't have the talent. Okay? But if they did, like, Mel Gibson did the fucking one with the damn Jesus. What was the one? That was
not
Last Temptation of Christ. That was a good movie. It had David Bowie in it. Last Temptation of Christ.
Well, that was Willem Dafoe, right?
Yeah, Last Temptation of Christ.
That was actually a good movie.
It was a good movie. What was the one that he did?
The Passion of
the Christ. You see,
the Jesus like horror porn one.
Yeah, you see, if you're gonna do Christian horror,
it's good it's gory.
You have to go that way. You have to go with Last Temptation of the Christ, because that movie made a shit ton of money.
Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ.
Last Temptation of Christ made not that much.
Yeah, but the thing is it got good acclaim. It had
because it was controversial. Because
I liked it.
Posited, I did too.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater when it came out.
But it posited that Jesus was a human that had sex. Catholics flipped out.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that was.
About, though.
I think that was kind of why it got the press that it did, was because Catholics were picketing the theaters. Jesus does not have sex. Blah blah blah. It was this whole thing.
Yeah, well,
it was a whole thing. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's what happened.
Yeah, I know,
remember.
but it's dumb. It's dumb.
I know it's dumb.
Because Catholics and Christians don't. First of all, they don't understand the ancient world. They don't know what the situation. Had there been a Jesus, they don't really understand what life he would have lived. He probably would have had sex.
Well, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, and
thank you, Mr. Roboto.
They don't know what was forbidden and what wasn't forbidden. They're projecting their morals and their values on a person that supposedly lived 2,000 years ago.
Obviously.
So I just think it's childish even to talk about that stuff. I really don't care what Christians think. I know the truth behind what the scriptures mean and what they are. I don't believe that there was a historical Jesus. They're always looking. The Jesus that we have in the New Testament is a Roman god, like Dionysus. If there was a historical Jesus, nothing of him remains in those scriptures.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, so all that has been edited out. Yep. I tend to think there was no historical Jesus.
I agree with that assessment also.
It's basically a Roman religious cult that is kind of has a Jewish influence to it, because they were basically Roman Jews living in the Roman Empire coming up with this. They're rebooting Judaism. It's a new sect of it. And they're rebooting it as if it was a Roman god to make it friendly to the culture that they grew up in, which is Rome. All right, it's a Roman religion. I don't give a shit what modern Christians say or think, because they don't know the facts. They haven't really studied. Go to Dr. Robert M. Price. He was an old priest.
Well,
he will tell you everything about what it really says and what it doesn't say.
They're not really interested in what it really says.
It's just their own imagination. They're projecting.
They want to project their own.
That is none of that shit's written in those scriptures.
Nope.
They're taking things way out of context, and their ideas of what good and bad is did not apply 2,000 years ago. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying about if you wanted to make a good Christian horror movie, it has to be straight up rated R. It has to go the way of what's the Gibson movie, Passion of the Christ, where it has to be exciting, kind of like an action movie with a bunch of gore in it. It does.
Yeah, because that was like really gory.
Right. It does have to be. It does have to follow fucking scripture. So what you do is you take the story of the Omen and the Antichrist, and you fucking put that against the backdrop of fucking of the Book of Revelations and Armageddon. Oh man, it would be awesome if you knew how to do it. If you had the money and the right director that respected the source material, you could make a badass Omen flick about the Antichrist.
And I would watch
fucking the Revelations and the Apocalypse, and it would have to be canonically in there, and it would just be awesome. But in Hollywood studios today, you don't have anybody that has the balls or really the knowledge to appreciate the source material. If you tell a biblical story, it's got to be with the source material. Just like Darren Aronofsky's fucking Noah. Beautiful story. That's the story of Noah and the story.
And actual Christians had a fucking.
They had a flip, but they don't know. They don't know the Apocrypha and fucking.
Obviously.
And they don't know the Apocrypha and the other Jewish texts about Noah. That's it. That is the story.
Because that movie, to me,
right.
I mean, my heathen ass. I don't really care, but it's like. That movie to me, I'm like, that's exactly what they're talking about.
That's what they're talking about.
That's what they said.
It's like something out of damn...
He took it right out of the scripture.
And the original story is like something out of the Alien and Prometheus. That's exactly what they're talking about. Beings from the heavens enchained into the earth and the rocks of the earth and mankind and the cities rolling up and they're fucking destroying the earth and fucking Noah being the shepherd of the earth and fucking then you're having damn... You know, not Moses, but Abraham shows up and he's ancient. Oh no, that's a fucking great movie. I love Noah.
Like I said, it just goes to show, one, atheists make the best movies about Christian mythology.
Well, they're impartial.
Well, yeah, because I feel like a lot of Christians who actually believe in the stuff that's in the Bible, if you show them the stuff that's actually in the Bible, they will reject it.
Yeah.
Because Darren Aronofsky made Noah, and I said, this is biblical. That was what they talked about in the story. It's right there.
Religious people, not only Christians,
and they had a fucking fit.
All religious people, Muslims, Christians, and Jews, distort their scriptures through the lens of faith. Because they believe it, they start distorting it and making it something that it is not. Which is when you cannot look at scripture through the lens of faith. You'll distort it into something that your traditions say it is, not what it actually says. That's the problem. When a Christian reads the story of Noah, he's distorting that story through the lens of what they were told as a child through fucking Noah stories. It kind of, that's not exactly what, like how many animals were in how many animals were in there? Most of them will tell, well, a male and a female. No, there's 7 pair. I think it says different things. One of them says it's 2 pair of male and female, and I think other story says, what is it? 7 pair of male and female clean animals, and like 4 or 5 pair male and female of unclean animals.
How big is this boat?
And so, big. Well, it's not a boat. It just says an ark, and an ark is not
How
a
big
boat.
is this ark?
It get like this, big, like the size of the Queen Mary, I think is what they're talking about, and it's not a boat. It just says ark, which means box.
It's a box that floats.
It's a box, a floating box. Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, so it's not a boat. It's just
logistically.
It's just a box.
Logistically.
Yeah.
It is unrealistic.
It was never supposed to be realistic, I don't think.
Obviously.
It was never supposed to be realistic.
Obviously. But.
It's just a story. It's a story you tell around the campfire. If you ever.
And some people, I'm not naming any names, but some people still build whole entire theme parks based on this being a real thing, where there were actually 2 of every kind of animal that were living at the time. We're gonna put those all in a boat. And that was a thing that happened, and dinosaurs and humans lived at the same time, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, well,
but some people have kind of like built whole theme parks around that.
These are mythic tales.
And, yes, obviously.
Yeah, and
obviously.
It actually goes back to, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, where the gods decide to drown out the world.
Yes.
So it's a retelling of the Epic of Gilgamesh.
It's very old.
But it's a Canaanite version of the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Old.
The Hebrews were a Canaanite tribe. These are all Canaanites, and they're worshiping the Canaanite gods, which are kind of like the Egyptian gods. But, I don't get pent up about it, and the people that believe about it, I don't really care what people believe about it. You can listen to any story and reinterpret it any way you want. It doesn't affect me. I don't make fun of people for being wrong. Even if they're wrong, they're getting comfort from believing in things that are not true. It's very retro. All that shit is very retro. But it was just they're believing in a cultural library of people that aren't related to them. It's just a story. It's just a creation story, and part of the creation story involved a flood. And it is because, the Epic of Gilgamesh had it. And there's evidence everywhere. There's evidence everywhere around the Middle East. When you climb to the top of the mountain, you'll find seashells up there. So they have to have an explanation of why the fuck are there seashells on the tops of all these mountains. And that's really all it is.
Because that bitch used to be underwater.
Because it used to be underwater. But they don't realize that. They didn't know about geology.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize how long ago that was. That's all it is. So they have to explain why there are seashells on the tops of the mountains all throughout the Middle East. That's all it is. Which, it's a simple explanation for us, but for them, that was really fucking them up. They're like, how the hell? That means the entire Earth was underwater? What the hell happened?
Oh my God, what the fuck was going on back
there? Yeah, well, we're bad. We got punished a long time ago.
God drowned us.
Yeah, we got punished a long time ago.
Pretty much. But
it all worked out, though. That's fucking what
we're
that's
still
all
around,
it means.
so it's cool.
Yeah, that's all it means.
But, like I said, this kind of shit fascinates me. I know it's not true. Like, none of that shit happened, but the whole, making of the mythology fascinates me. It fascinates.
Well, it took place over many, many generations.
Oh, yeah. I know.
And they just kind of handed it down. The rest of the world doesn't have it. The Chinese and the Japanese, they don't really have it.
Well, yeah, why would they?
It didn't really affect them. It's a Near East, Middle East, and European thing.
Well, like I said, I kind of feel like a lot of our myths came from something that happened, but something that happened on a very, very local, kind of time scale. So there was some little flood that happened somewhere, and it got blown up like a game of telephone, and suddenly it was like this big global whatever. You know what I mean? So it's something that happened on a smaller scale and got blown up to a global scale.
Yeah, kind of. None of that stuff actually happened. They're imagining that it happened.
Like I said, so it was something that was really small and got blown up to this big fucking.
If you could go, you can go to any top of any mountain, fucking going around the Gulf of Aqaba, fucking, which is supposedly where Moses was running around, trying to survive. Him and his people were wandering through that fucking desert, and in the Sinai Peninsula outside of Egypt. They're wandering around for 40 years eating manna and shit, right? You can go to any of those damn tops of those little mountains of sandstone and find seashells there. And of course, ancient people are going like, what the fuck happened? The ocean used to be up here? And you can stand on top there and it goes, that was fucking hundreds of feet. Damn, fucking, what the hell happened? So so they had
These
to come up with a story.
These people must have really been sinful.
Yeah, well, they weren't. It's because they didn't believe in fucking Yah. All right, and they weren't listening to El Shaddai, and he fucked them up. Wow, tell us how that happened. And if you ever fucking go hang out with Bedouins and shit out in the desert, fucking, they sit around in the campfire and fucking pass karkadeh and fucking smoke shisha, which is not hashish, it's just tobacco. Smoke shisha, and they talk and they ask questions and shit, and then some old dude go, yeah, back in the day, Yah said, fuck all this shit. He made it rain for 40 days and night, flooded the whole fuck. How you think them shells got up there? You guys are bad. We were all bad, but we survived. You know what I mean? Our people fucking believed it, Yah. We were on.
So that's why we're still here.
Yeah, we were on the ark, and we came out and fucking, and then we spread and multiplied. That's what they're talking about.
Well, everybody likes to feel like they're special.
Yeah.
Everybody likes it.
You have to have an explanation for it. That's all. That's what it is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it wasn't malevolent or anything. They're just making...
No, and I get that. It's like, it's totally not... Like, people are not being like, oh, I'm the king of the universe or anything like that. But it's just kind of like, it's a very human thing.
Yeah, they're desert people.
Yeah, it's a very human thing to think, one, you're the center of the universe. Yeah. Which you're not, spoiler alert. But also, it's kind of like, well, whatever, like, is happening now, that's kind of like the end product of this long line of evolutionary whatever, like all this stuff that happened, which I don't know, it's like it's too much like self-importance.
Yeah. Well, you're having a problem with that because you kind of have a background in kind of like modernity and towns and villages. You wouldn't feel that way had you grown up in the Sinai Peninsula out in the middle of the desert with a very low population density with your own local tribal culture. It would be the world and just you and your family and the friends of your family and your extended tribe. That's the world. And the world was made for you and God made your people. Other people show up and you go, oh, not them.
God didn't make those people.
Yeah, our scriptures say that, that we were the chosen ones. And these are the ones that were not related to us. And fucking, after fucking leaving, So no, it was exclusive. They weren't evil. It's just that these are country people out in the desert. It's like some shit out of Dune. Dune was based on all that kind of stuff. All these civilized motherfuckers coming here, they're savages. We're the real people. They're the natives. That's exactly what they're talking about.
Well, I mean, like I said,
those evil city people.
Everybody.
Then it says those evil city people, God punishes them. Look at what they did to Babadra or Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing. They were all gay. Fucked them up. See, but not us. We're straight.
Those butt fucking.
We're super straight. Yeah, we're super straight. Those people there, man.
We would never even think about going in someone else's
city burned up. Never. So that's what they're talking about. Don't make it something that it isn't. It's not bad or it's not bad. It's just a way of fucking tribal people that are not very numerous. That's the way they think. It's the way you kind of think in Mississippi.
Yes, but I know that, right?
It's that same thing.
I know that.
Yeah.
But some of us, me for example, have we don't think like that anymore.
Well, you're a modern person.
But I understand that like other people do.
Yeah, you're a modern person that has access to the internet and modern telecommunications. You know about the outside world. No, these people did not think like that. Yeah, I know. And I can take you to a place in Egypt or in the Sinai Peninsula and introduce you to Bedouins, and they're just not in the modern world.
Yeah, I get that.
And they're not bad. They're friendly.
Well, like I said,
it's just that they probably
like I said, I understand that. Yeah. I understand that like some people don't have this whole like I'm out. I don't know. I don't know if you call it like outside of culture.
It's called ethnocentrism. You know what I mean? They're ethnocentric, very ethnocentric.
Yeah, I get that.
And they're not numerous, so therefore they're special.
Yeah, I get that.
They're like, oh, yeah.
Well, like I said, that's a very human...
Yeah.
Humans, our brains kind of evolved to be like that.
Yeah. When you're not numerous, you go, well, we're special, and this was all made for us, and all these people were made for us to look at. We're the,
on the other hand, human brains are capable of transcending that.
I'm going to say that's a mixed bag. Some people can't.
Not all of them. Some people can't.
Some people can, some people can't.
But a lot of people can.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying there's no excuse. I'm just saying that...
It's not really our place to go in there and fucking destroy those cultures, though. Those are the
I don't think we should.
That'd be like going to fucking Africa and meeting tribal people and say, you can't be like this because Americans aren't like this. So you can't be like this. They're not like us. They believe in different ways. They see things. They're friendly. But no, if you can get into bad trouble there. Okay? In the same way you could have gotten in bad trouble in Salem by talking about witches and shit. Next thing you know, you might
Although the thing about it is that...
Okay.
Do you want to... Okay, let's use that as an example. Let's say you went back as, in a time machine.
Yeah.
And you go back to Salem at the time of the witch trials. And there's women that obviously did nothing. They're just like innocent women. They were midwives or whatever. And it's like, they're going to be burned at the stake. Are you going to save them? They're innocent.
How could I? With modern technology?
They didn't do anything.
Okay, so
could you take them to the modern era with you? I'm just saying, if you had the technology to do that, would you do that? Because I would.
Yeah, probably. But the problem is that if you had modern technology, they would have stopped it back then. It'd be with guns, which means you have to kill them. You have to kill a bunch of them.
Well,
and these are...
if they were going to burn some innocent people alive, I don't really have a problem with that.
But what do? You kill 5 of them to save 1? And they're all kind of innocent because they're all dumbasses. They're from another era.
Right, but you have... Well, in that... Okay. If you're going to go that route...
Yeah.
You have to kind of go... Yeah, they're all dumbasses.
They're all dumbasses, yeah.
But...
And if you get in the middle and you try to talk them out of it... You could end up
no, you're not. Don't talk them out of it because they're retarded.
They'll turn on you.
They don't know. So I'm kind of like, from a modern point of view, those dudes back then, they're burning an innocent woman.
Yeah.
Because of some shit they believe. But
yeah.
I kind of feel like that woman, she didn't do anything.
No.
Probably.
But you know what would happen? You'd grab that woman and teleport away with her, and she would fucking turn at you and goes, "Oh my God, you're Satan! You saved me. I'm not a witch." It'd be some shit like that. Like,
well, yeah, but
she would
that's
think
like
that you were a warlock or something.
Maybe. But the thing about it, I don't know. I kind of feel like you get to a point where I don't know.
And another thing you gotta look at is what happened in the past happened with the past. You start fucking around with the past and it could change the present.
Well, I know that.
There's all that time stream
I'm just talking about if you're not gonna affect anything in the future. I'm just saying if you could actually go back and save some people that, for example, were burned at the Salem witch trials or what have you. They were hanged actually. That was a European thing, burning them. But obviously, none of them were witches. Okay? So, those women probably did nothing. Right? I mean, obviously, did nothing.
They didn't do what they were accused of doing.
Obviously. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like, is it really... This is a hard question now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I don't feel all that bad about fucking with the people. If I could, just hypothetically, go back in a time machine. If I could fuck with the people from that time period and bring some, women into the modern era, they might be all right. Honestly, they might be all right. I don't know. You'd have to give them a little bit. You'd have to give them some time to get with.
Depending on how old they were. I mean,
get with the modern century. Yeah, if they were older,
I think people from the 1500s just would not be able to maintain.
It would depend on the person. It would depend on the person because some people might be able to, and some people might not.
You're projecting your sanity and your intelligence on people that fucking you don't really know.
Sure, I get that. But.
If you were to go back in time in the 1500s and get a fucking, I don't know, the fucking English knight or some shit back from the 1100s, you couldn't have him just walking around here in this fucking house. I bet you'd be getting in your bathtub and fucking splashing all the fucking water out of it, fucking pissing on shit and fucking trying to eat your cat or fucking, you know what I mean, and raping women and stuff. No, they were fucking animals. What are you talking about? No, they were fucking, you know what I mean? They were worse than any fucking, fucking local gangster or some shit,
I've actually kind of like, I thought about this a lot.
The only way to deal with it would be to beat them up. You'd have to beat them up into submission to get them to listen to you. That's not who, you're not dealing with a modern person. The medieval mentality was fucked up.
I thought about this a lot because...
I mean, they took cats and fucking tied them together by the tail and hung them over wires so they'd fight each other to death. They would stake a bear into the ground and fucking try to set it on fire for fun. They were fucking crazy.
Although, like I said, I'm just saying to anybody that is from the past and would be brought here in the future in my time machine that I'm going to invent someday.
Yeah.
You try to do anything to my cat.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
I'm gonna turn you inside out.
A medieval would fucking reach down.
Don't touch my fucking cat.
A medieval would reach down and fucking grab a half rotten fucking rat and stick it in your face and go, smell that. That stinks, doesn't it? I mean, they were fucking morons.
Although dudes like that, do they?
Smell that.
They do that
stinks,
nowadays,
doesn't it? Doesn't that stink? They're fucking.
Although, like I said, this tradition.
And I'm not lying, people. There were books that said were admonishing.
This tradition lives on.
Yeah, there were books admonishing people. Written back in the middle period,
don't
saying please do not pick up dead things and sniff them. Okay, which meant that was a problem.
And put them in something.
Okay, and they're like, look, if you see somebody being murdered, don't laugh at them. They fucking said all. They were fucking crazy.
Well, I don't know if it was so much crazy. They just didn't really.
They didn't have a modern sensibilities.
And I guess that's understandable because after a time. Thank you, Mr. Roboto. Men and ladies were tried as witches.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Mostly ladies, but some men too. Because ladies, we're the worst. We're evil. But, it's kind of this whole thing where, I don't know, I kind of feel like the medieval time period, life was very cheap. A lot of people died young. Many people had several children that died as babies.
Well, it still is.
So everyone kind of had to get with the program of not caring too much.
It still is kind of like that, though, Jenny. It just depends on where you live.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm talking about, in the West, it's not really like that. But I know that in some parts of the world, it is still like that. But it was kind of a thing where, well... I had 5 kids and they died before they were 2 from various ailments. So you couldn't get too attached to people.
You had to be hard.
So I kind of feel like, well, it's not so much hard. It was just people had to be sociopaths, honestly.
It's the same thing.
You had to not care.
Yeah. Well,
about people.
It was a numbers game. Yeah.
Well, it's I can't get too attached to these kids or this spouse or whatever because they're probably going to drop dead. So everyone was just very
Are you hungry?
Mercenary.
You hungry?
Yeah.
I got some hamburgers down there I can make.
Okay.
I was thawing them out.
Well, I'm just saying that
Thawing out some hamburgers.
Okay.
It's about time for a hamburger.
You think?
Oh man, I'll cook that shit up in the frying pan. I got those buns and everything that I bought. See, I'm trying to talk her down, people. What time is it? How long we been streaming on this one?
Hour and 24 minutes.
That's good. So we're gonna be checking off here in a bit, people. Is there any questions? Is there anything you want us to talk about before we go ahead and end the show today?
This was a fun show, I feel.
Oh yeah, you had a fun show, yeah. You had a fun show.
Even though I wore a costume and you did not.
She's gonna fucking bust my balls over this shit. You gonna bust my balls over this?
If we do a show on Sunday, which is actual Halloween day, you better wear a costume.
Sunday, if Halloween is Sunday, then that means we have to get candy.
Yes.
And that means I got to put out the fucking Halloween lights.
And also get enough candy so I can eat some candy.
See the hint of something. Okay. Yeah, they'll probably I could get some candy at. We'll go to Sam's and get some candy.
That's probably the best place.
Yeah. There'll be some shit I could pick up at Sam's.
Candy.
Sound good?
Get good shit.
Yeah, it will.
Because if nobody comes here, because our front lights don't work.
Mango's coming on down. He's jumping on a jet to get the hamburgers. All the way from England.
Really?
Yeah.
You make some ham. You gonna put some guacamole on it?
I
You gonna put fried eggs on
guacamole. Yeah, you want fried egg on it?
Duh. Yeah.
All right. I can do that.
Put a fried egg on it.
Okay. I don't know if I have any guacamole, though.
Well, that's like...
I have to check.
If you have some, fine. But if you don't, also
I got
fine.
cheese. Got Munster cheese. Fresh.
All right.
That shit.
Cheese is fine, too.
Okay.
Mostly, like...
I got... also got tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes, the big ones.
Yes, I'm into that.
You want the onion on it?
No.
Okay.
I would get hard.
You want pickles, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got pickles.
Oh, my God.
I can do it.
Can you? I know you can.
I can do it.
I know you can.
Okay, I'm going to shut it down, people. She's loaded. I got to fucking shut her off.
So are you.
Yeah, but I can control it. You're losing control. You're out of control.
Am I?
I don't know.
No.
Looks like you get ready to lose control. When she loses control, she gets mad. She'll turn on me and start fucking wanting to fight.
I get mad at you because you start acting like a douche.
No. It's part of your hallucinations. It's part of your hallucinations when you're drunk. It's that I'm being a douche. And it happens in nightclubs. And she attacks me because I'm not dancing.
Although
you haven't done it in a while, though.
Here's the thing, though.
Why aren't you dancing? Why are you so lame? Why are you such fucking... Why aren't you dancing? And I'm like, what are we talking about? Why aren't you dancing?
Well, the thing about it, though, is that you kind of act like an asshole, and then, like, if I get upset about it, then you gaslight me.
I act like an asshole.
Okay. And you're like,
all right.
What? I'm not being an asshole.
I'm not being an asshole.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm drunk.
And then the bartender's like, are you okay, Tom?
Sure.
Like, yeah, I'm okay. And the bartender's... It is funny, though. It's kind of funny. Because I know your patterns. It's funny.
I know your patterns, too.
Yeah, okay. I understand that. I understand.
And other bartenders also know your patterns.
It's okay. It's okay. So, sometimes I'll be so drunk I can't even talk. Just like,
yes.
Yeah.
And I don't usually...
Yeah, we haven't gotten that point, though.
I haven't gotten that drunk in a long time.
Let's see what everybody's talking about.
So,
sending good vibes to y'all. That's what Tila said.
I mean, you know, I'm trying to fucking... God damn it.
Con jumps in and says, go see the Deep House, guys. It's different, but okay movie. Deep House. You know about that one? Never heard of it. Deep House.
No, I don't.
Mango jumps in and says, feel your pain, Tom. The honey badger does that same shit a lot. That same thing a lot, yep. Don't forget the Dune Planet. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Fucking...
Is that the Asylum ripoff?
Yeah, Asylum came in with Sean. What's her name? Remember Sean?
Sean Young.
Sean Young came in and it's called The Dune Planet.
That bitch will be in it.
The Dune Planet, and she's in it. And they posted that in Tom Shitty's Movies, and that's my channel.
Yeah,
Tom Shitty Movies on fucking Facebook, and they posted the fucking poster Sean Young, The Dune Planet. And it's got the fucking sandworm and her running across the dune. And I came in there and says, no, you guys have got to be fucking kidding me. It's gotta be a joke.
Asylum, that's their whole business model.
Yeah, and they went, no, man, it's for real.
Yeah. Every time a big movie comes out, they know about it previously. So like, ooh, let's knock off or really quick.
Nakan, did you actually see this shit, or are you just fucking bullshitting me?
Now I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, now I kind of want to see it. The Dune Planet.
No, I don't.
With Sean
No, I don't.
Young.
I'm old. My time's too valuable.
Sean Young.
Oh my God.
Because I want to know, man.
Sean Young.
Although there was some fucking Dune, there were some fucking Asylum films that were fucking good. Like Nazis at the Center of the Earth, I liked it. It was fucking really good. It was
Every now and then they kind of like get a good...
Sometimes they fucking come with a good one that'll just like, oh.
Mostly it's just kind of like, they're like, well, whatever the big thing is, we're going to make a cheap knockout of it. But, you know.
But no, fucking Nazis at the Center of the Earth was fucking over the top. It was like up there with fucking with Velocipaster. It was like that.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, Velocipaster
was a lot better, but...
Like I said, Velocipaster was kind of like the platonic ideal of shitty movies. Like, it's kind of like the Venn diagram of, like, shitty movies on this side and enjoyable movies on this side. And it was just like, oh, it was like the perfect.
Yeah.
Man, it was like the perfect fucking balance.
Con says he hasn't seen it yet. He's got it fucking downloaded on HD.
2018, which a lot of people did not.
Yeah, it was much better than fucking Candyman 2. It was a lot better.
I mean, it's a different movie. But
it's much better.
Yeah,
I liked Candyman 1. I thought Candyman 1 was a fucking masterpiece. Candyman 2 is kind of dull. I mean, it had some good stuff in it. But that watching Candyman 2, what's the real name of it? I'm calling it Candyman 2.
It's just called Candyman.
Just called Candyman. Okay. It let me know how much fucking Todd has to be in that damn movie. If you ask me, it really rides on.
Like I said, I kind of feel like Tony Todd is so awesome that anyone that has to follow that. Yeah. Is not going to be a fun time.
I know Tila probably missed our other show a couple days back. Seeing the remake of Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd starring. He played Ben in it, and we did a review of it a couple days back. That kind of made up for fucking Candyman 2. See Night of the Living Dead, 1990?
1990.
Night of the Living
Tom
Dead.
Savini.
Tom Savini. Tony Todd starring. It's one of his best movies.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
No, that's what I said.
He always seems like he's gonna keep talking.
No.
Like he doesn't keep talking. All right. So how long have we gone? God.
Tila says Tom hates Candyman 2020. Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it lacked the charm.
I didn't mind it. I love it, but it was okay.
It lacked the charm of the original. And it just it really showed me how much Candyman really depends on Tony Todd. Without Tony Todd, you don't really have that movie, and you don't have that character. And I just thought the writing was bad, and it was just kind of lackluster. You know what I mean? It just needed a better script. But the way it was shot was pretty good. It was kind of meandering and kind of bullshit characters and. It was just mediocre. I would say because the first Candyman was so strong, I thought because this one wasn't as good, it was kind of a bigger letdown. It'd be like having a fucking really good Alien 1 and then kind of a mediocre Alien 2. Imagine if that would happen. Even though I know there were some other movies in between, I didn't see them. I only saw the first one. And I saw that one and I was like, eh.
Well, like I said, in some ways it's kind of like shitty if you make a movie that's like so awesome. Yeah. It's like now we're gonna make another one, and it's like it's never gonna be as good as the first one. It's never gonna be as good.
And what was frustrating about it is that parts of it were really good, like certain elements.
Yeah, there were like some actually great elements to it. Yeah.
But it didn't gel into a single experience that was like, oh, that was a good movie. You know what I mean? It just didn't.
Tila asks, have we watched Squid Game? Yes, we have.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Actually, yeah, I really liked that. I liked like the first couple episodes, and then it kind of got slow in the middle. But then, like at the end, I was really into like the last couple episodes.
I liked the beginning and the end. There was a couple of that stuff in the middle.
Like the middle stuff was good too, but like not as good. But like the middle, like the beginning and the end were like really good.
And I like the fact that the Koreans knew they were kind of on something or onto something because they left it open for another season.
Which I would totally watch that,
Yeah, and they have to fucking up their game, okay? The series game requires fucking endurance. When it comes to writing. You have to be able to write progressively interesting shit over and over again, which I kind of think the first season didn't do. Halfway through the season, it started to be like, this is not that interesting. But then it got better. It's kind of like they saw the mistake that they were making. They tried to make it too normal, I think. They started backing off of some of the absurdity or the bizarreness of the first few episodes. I wanted them to just continue to turn it up and turn it up and turn it up. Kind of like the first 4 seasons of The Walking Dead did. They just kept turning it up. You know? Then that started to peter out. very difficult for a fucking series to hang on through the whole thing.
Well, it's kind of hard to like keep sustain shit over that long of a time.
The best long-term series was Dexter, really. One of the best ones. It held out.
Man, we gotta see that new shit because they've like done a new.
Dexter held out for a long time, and I liked that Florida feel to it. I was like, yeah, that's South Florida, and it just kind of it did well. I mean, yeah, some people say, well, it kind of got a little weak as it went on, and they killed some of their main characters. Well, they were trying to wrap it up. A lot of people got mad that they killed some of the favorite characters out of it, but that's the way that had to go. I want to see that again, actually.
Well, we should probably rewatch it.
Yeah.
Before we watch the new season.
Yeah.
I was kind of like.
So the new season's out already?
It might be. I saw some ads for it, so it's either out or it's coming out.
Yeah.
She's also asking about Midnight Mass, which I still need to watch that. That's Mike Flanagan, same guy that did Dr. Sleep, same guy that did Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, all that kind of stuff. So I've been like meaning to watch that, but I haven't watched it yet. So I will get to it, I promise. But I haven't had a lot of time this week, so I will get to it, I promise. Oh, I'm going red.
Yeah, it went back yellow.
Okay. My little shit went red, but you know.
Yeah, Tita said the Koreans are killing it, in my opinion. Jenny said the same thing.
I mean, all their shit lately has been really, really good.
Yeah, I think we're ducking out. So
yeah.
I lost my connection over here.
Well, yeah, like I said,
green there.
It's green there, but it went like red and orange for a second.
I'll repeat what I said.
Kanavasan says Midnight Mass is great. Yeah, I really need to watch that. That's going to be my next like long-term thing.
Yeah. Okay, let me answer. Louis, Halloween Kills, I liked it. I
did as well.
I thought it was better than the last Halloween. And then Tita says the Koreans are killing it, in my opinion. Train to Busan was really good. Yeah. Jenny said the same thing. The Koreans are killing it. Yeah, they're getting into the series game. Yeah.
Also, can we talk about, like, even go back a few years, like, look at movies like The Host or, like, The Wailing or, man, shit like that. Like, their shit was, like, way better than the American shit that was going on at the same time period.
They're talking about how good Midnight Mass is. I don't even know that one. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's Mike Flanagan. Same guy that did Haunting of Hill House. He did Dr. Sleep. He did all that kind of stuff.
I'd probably like it then.
So,
I really liked Dr. Sleep, the extended version that you get on the home Blu-ray.
Yeah.
See the director's cut of Dr. Sleep. It's better than the original.
Yeah.
There's a lot more in it.
Oh, we're going red again.
Why don't we go ahead and shut it down here once this comes back?
Yeah, I guess we should.
All
right. Are we going?
It's good. It's back green again.
Okay. Tila says, also, You on Netflix is supposed to be interesting. Yeah, I've heard about that too, so we should watch that also. Looks like we're kind of like cutting out, and we're pretty drunk.
Gotta get my hamburger on.
And hungry.
Yeah.
So we will be back on Sunday. Sunday, we should do like a Halloween show.
They're saying that Tita says that I'll dig Midnight Mass. Okay, we'll check it out.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
I've been saving it.
Okay.
We'll watch it.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it, so we'll see. Camp Guy says, You is awesome. One of the best I've ever seen. Okay. Is it?
Good.
Man, we're so drunk.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back on Sunday, which is actual Halloween day.
Thank you for the super chats, people.
Thank you for super chats. Yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We've had a really good time tonight.
Yeah, have a good fucking set of Friday night. Go ahead and continue to drink and watch your shit. And fucking, we'll be probably back Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Sunday, we'll be back Sunday.
Sunday is Halloween.
Yeah. Gotta go get some candy.
Get some candy.
Yeah.
Get some costumes.
All right.
We're going to have a fun time.
Okay.
On Sunday. So we will see you guys on Sunday. And thank you for dropping by. Thank you for all your contributions. We will see you guys Sunday. Bye.
See ya, Bees Nest. See ya, Tila.